Hello there and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I want to show you a gameplay in the Ki-49-I and it is a Japanese medium bomber and it is on Saipan. Wow, how exciting, really. Why do you show it to us? It's pointless. Well, there are other things about it that are pointless. For instance, you might have seen it briefly in the very first seconds of the video that I actually had the choice to also equip a 500 kilogram bomb, but in this match I'm respaning the plane for the 500 kilogram bomb pylon. Don't ask me. I'm just playing here. I'm honest. This is one of Gaijin's things that I don't understand, that I think is pretty annoying for a player like me that wants to have as many planes and tanks spaded by playing them as possible. And I have to respade now at least 4 Japanese medium bombers for that one module. Just a quick word of how I play before I come back to this. I'm going here into a steep dive to drop the altitude to be just above the, well, water, to have a reduced chance of getting red boxed, aka the red box around my plane, where enemies then can easily spot me. I'm using also here the opening and the closing of the bomb bay to act as a, well, air brake substitute, and it actually works surprisingly well. So I'm here at low altitude and I want to bomb myself a destroyer. I don't understand why Gaijin is taking away modules from time to time from planes and not as often tanks that are already spaded, and is reintroducing them, and then you have to spade them despite you already having played for it, and you get no compensation for it in terms of, you know, that the module is instantly given to you again. Sometimes, especially with Spitfires, it has happened quite often, and that's just very, very annoying, and it makes no goddamn sense. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this. The next thing is the combination of certain planes and certain maps. Not every map fits every single vehicle in the game, be it tanks, be it planes, and in the future also ships. When it comes to tanks, imagine a T-95, a Mouse, a Tortoise, or an E-100, you know, trying to get into a good position on Maginot Line, or on Kursk, or on, you know, the Fulda Gap map. It's possible, but it takes very long, and that's not really fitting the meta. It's annoying doing it very often in quick succession when you get very often the same map that you don't like when you insist on playing that tank. For planes, there are similar situations. Imagine a German Duck, the Henschel 129 B2, or even the B3 variant. What do you do on, well, Norway? What do you do on the Norway map? Not much, right? So here I just flew straight through the entirety of the enemy team, and when they were close enough so that I assumed that I get red boxed, they conveniently ignored me. So what about the income then, if you don't have the greatest bomb load, if you don't have special weaponry like a torpedo, and if, you know, taking down even one destroyer takes a lot of effort, as we will just see in a moment? Well, there are other sources of RP and Silverline income, and I also wanted to show them to you. So first of all, my tactic is going as close as possible to the destroyer, going at such a low altitude that when I skip my bomb into the enemy destroyer, that it will not skip over the enemy destroyer. Bomb skipping is a nice skill to have, and I want to train it with the upcoming open beta of ships. So I perfectly hit the destroyer. The bomb exploded inside of the ship, so that was because I didn't see a water column. And one 250 kilogram bomb is not enough. Might be this point that some of you point out, if you would have taken a 500 kilogram bomb. Yeah, but I just have one, so that halves my dropping potential. And in theory I just have to unlock it. So here I throw the bomb a bit, well, further away, and it is a near miss that you see with the water column. So third time's the charm, and we turn around. Now, despite the bombers not being extremely fast, they're not slow either. However, they have a nice maneuverability to them. They turn pretty tight and they can do some maneuvers that in another medium bomber like the Heinkel 111 and also the Wellingtons for the British you just wouldn't imagine. So first bomb is a bit short, but the second one is on point. And finally we get the deserved kill. That is one kill. What do you do now on the Saipan map? Well, you have three options in my opinion. The first option is to bail out or suicide by enemy fighter. The next one is to land on the airfield up ahead, but you know, first the A6M2 has to deal with the F4AU, which I think is totally doable, and to reload then bombs and repeat the steps before, so dropping on destroyer or cruisers and then returning to the airfield. That takes time. That requires the enemy not going for you, and it is dangerous and just very boring. And the next thing is you look for other RP income sources. Now, unique to Saipan is that there are actually some AI fighters or fighter bombers coming in, and those are F6Fs, and I am already reclimbing, and while this happens my engine is kind of overheating, which I now control with manual engine control in terms of getting the propeller back to 95% and also the engine cowlings for the oil radiator to, well, above the normal standard opening. So I reclimb with the full engine power. The additional drag from the opening of the radiators is actually not a problem in the climbing phase, because I think the additional horsepower is still better than the little additional drag. At top speed, that's something completely different, and that's a different point of discussion. But actually for getting in, that is something to, for getting to altitude, that is something that I do with fighters, with fighter bombers, attackers, and yeah, well, even your regular bombers. So now the F6S have were very friendly and have dropped their altitude, and now I just want to turn into them. I turn a bit early because I want to drop right in between the horde. And now I'm turning in, and Gaijin's sophisticated AI programming lets two of the bots crash. Oh man. So my gunners are opening up, I get in the hits, and this is oddly satisfying doing this, you know. Yeah, it's a bit like shooting fish in a barrel, but honestly, if you have the hard bomber life, you know, who can blame you? And to turn with them in such a fashion, let the gunners do their work, and also observing the AI bot planes having more sophisticated moves than the average American player, that hurts to say, and I wish I'd kid. And then we kind of see the results, all the hits, all the action, and all the you know, kill assists and eventually kills, that they will actually pay off. And you get increased silver lines and RP from it. So now the bombers have, the fighters have spread out, and there is an F4U incoming. And in good old bomber fashion, I attack him. Yes. So the maneuver that I want to make is observing his status, and it seems like he's going down. So I'm pretty cheeky when I actually do the maneuver of sitting myself in front of him and let the gunner do the work, hopefully. Leveling out, switching to gunner, and while I have here a very good target and I hit him very often, it's not enough to get the kill, but at least a kill assist, and that's good enough for me. And soon afterwards also the first kill on the bot comes in. So you can see that's a lot of action, that's a lot of stuff that you can do actively instead of floating around somewhere in space, which is boring as all hell. And I'm actually participating in cleaning up the enemy team, although it being just the AI part right here. And another bot goes down. So those bots actually get yourself, as I mentioned now multiple times, a lot of RP and silver line income. However, please don't make the mistake of thinking that, I know, you know, this is your main course, just going straight to them and shoot them down. They are a nice bonus. They are a very nice bonus after you have done your job as a fighter or a bomber, and you have already secured the win, more or less, and it's just in the cleanup phase. But then you should know about them. There you can see the effectiveness of the frontal machine gun. Now the gunner is reloading, and I'm actually going into a slide dive trying to catch up. Now he's smoking for quite a bit. He's received a lot of hits, but he refuses to go down. So again, with excellent gunning, I get a lot of hits in. Now that's one annoying thing, that the machine guns are highly inaccurate. You can see here the spread all around the plane with a fully upgraded machine gun at just 500 meters. If I'd sit in a fighter, I could guarantee you the hits being much more precise. Not due to my aiming, but due to, you know, the inaccuracy of gunner defensive weapons. Even if you have the same weapons on a bomber as a defensive gunner or on a fighter, the accuracy difference is stunning. For instance, a fully upgraded 50 cal on an American bomber is still much less accurate than a stock 50 cal on a fighter. Let that sink in for a minute. And you have better controllability and also more of the machine guns on a fighter versus a bomber. So even though the enemy is flying in a straight line straight behind you, you very often can't kill them despite having really good aim. I think that is highly annoying. So I want to secure here the kill on the F6F, and I'm making a little bit of a mess out of it, but in other news I can show you the handling of the medium bomber. Now I've already spotted here the last enemy player. I'm not quite sure if you can see it, but he's near the destroyers, and I'm marking him here on the map for my teammates. He's too far away to get red boxed. Eventually the F6F goes down, and there is just one remaining over the other airfield right ahead, but the TBF is coming my way, and now I'm calling him out for my team. If I die and the enemy gets unspotted, they at least have a rough idea where he is and they can hunt him down. But I want this kill. Now, you know, to go into a head-on and let just the frontal machine gun speak versus a TBF that has 250 cals is not the most intelligent thing on the earth. So I avoid the straight head-on, and then I am, you know, avoiding him by turning into him after like 1 kilometer, and he doesn't hit me with a single 50 cal, and that blows his mind. Imagine a bomber that is maneuvering with you. So I turn in front of him, and he has not the controllability in his plane to get then shots into me, or he just didn't react in time, but eventually I'll expose myself to his gunner. However, it also gives me the altitude advantage to do this maneuver. Dive right under him and then let him, you know, then go into the gunner position and gun him down. Let's see how it works. Well, I'd say that's successful. Yeah, it's not the first time that I do this, as you can imagine. And that's the game. So after sinking one destroyer, shooting down one enemy player plane, and getting 2 kills assists, and also shooting down 4 AI aircraft, I'm really interested what the income for this rather unpopular medium bomber is. Let's have a look at it. So a solid 50,000 silver lines and nearly 4,000 research points is more than you get from just bombing a single destroyer. And there's the bomb pylon, that a plane is respawned, and the 2,800 research points are in the memory for the next time Gaijin is removing well, something from this plane. So I have to redo this with a few more medium bombers to have as many planes spaded as possible. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you appreciate this hidden RP income video enough to give it a like, and subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.